Good morning. This is Miss Steinbaugh, art teacher at FHS, and I'm going to do a little video about pressure transfer for our first printmaking skill builders. The interesting thing about pressure transfers is the look. You get a completely different line quality with a pressure transfer than you do with a drawing pencil or a pen, and you get some of this background. Some people call that chatter. You get some ink and some textures that you get that are unexpected. It's a happy accident, as one of our favorite painters might say. So what we need to have an inking plate. This is a plate glass. We need to have a brayer. This is what we're going to use to roll out the ink. We need to have the ink and something to dish it out with. You need to have a drawing prepared. I made a little sketch of this giraffe. Make your drawing in pencil so that when you trace over it with pen, you can tell what you've done. I have all of this set up on newspaper. We'll just be using straight up newspaper, but for the video, so it's less distracting, I have plain paper on top. I apologize for the glare of the light up there. I don't know what I can do about that. So some of the steps: you take some ink out of a jar and you lay some of it across the top. Some of us would call that a bead of ink. You are not going to use that all at once. That's like a reservoir. You keep it up there for when you need it. You will get messy with the ink, so you want to be careful. It'll get into your fingernails and such, and it'll take a little while for it to wash out, but it will wash out. Now notice I'm kind of pawing at this like a cat. I'm getting little bits and I'm letting the brayer roll a little bit. And then I'm going to start moving it back and forth on the ink plate and go different directions. This is one of these art techniques that takes, you do it, but while you're doing it, you have to look at it, you have to listen to it to see if you have the right amount of ink. This one's not making a lot of noise as I roll it, so that's a nice thin layer. A thin layer is going to work really well for the pressure transfer. And the texture of the ink is almost smooth, and texture of the ink on the plate is something that we'll be paying attention to. Now, I have a lot of habits from printmaking, and I have to remember to say out loud what I'm doing. Every now and then when I roll the brayer, I pick it up and I let it spin. So when it comes back down, it hits a different spot, and that helps make the inking a little more even. After you've got ink all over your inking plate, I want a little more down there. Put your drawing on top. Try to keep it out of the ink reservoir. Don't push it, because you'll get more background stuff. And then use a ballpoint pen, colored pencil, something that's going to show as you trace over your drawing. And it doesn't have to be a perfect tracing. You can make changes and additions as you go. And I'm not going to pull this up till the very, very end, because I want the paper to stay put so that my first pressure transfer doesn't have like lines that are missing. I don't want to peek, because his little feet, they're not quite going to end up in the ink. That's okay. I'm learning what's going to be happening. So I'm putting pretty good deal of pressure on here. Got my fingers down close to the end. And as you notice, whenever art teachers start drawing, they have a hard time talking because we're concentrating about what we're doing. And what I really like to do is go through and put all the patterns on this little guy. And I want to color in his eye, a little nose. So just for this, keeping this video short, I'm just going to do some of the little patterns just so we can see. And on your first pressure transfer, what I would like for you to do is write your name in your drawing along the side, on the top, on the bottom, wherever, so that you can see what happens with printmaking with words, and your images as well. I would like to finish this whole thing out, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it for you all to see. Oh, and here's a big thing I want to comment on. When I was done rolling with the brayer, I don't know if it'll show off camera, I can't tell. I'm setting it down so this is on the table, not the rolling part. Okay, now I'm going to take one corner and pull it back and see what I got. Ooh, he's turning out kind of cute. I should have taken the time to finish him, but maybe I'll just put it back on there and finish it after the video. Take a look at my name. What happens with your picture when you pull it? And we can see a little ghost right there on the inking plate. If you want to, you can put another piece of paper on top, rub it over with your hands. I'm keeping my ring out of it. I'm just using this part of my fingers. And you can get a little ghost print where you have the white lines on the dark. Okay, thank you for watching. Have fun making your pressure print.